Incredible! Incredible! Unbelievable!
Save! And Spark our champions! Stood up Pepe! Goal!
It doesn't get any better than that!
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, from Game and Frame. Today we will feature the first semi-final after a long, grueling season in the Cosmopolitan First Division. We finally arrive to the playoffs. The first semi-final in question will be the champions of the regular season, Polonia, taking on Central Park Rangers 2. Of course, the champions of the regular season, Polonia, who finished 3 points clear at the top of the table, 3 points beyond New York International, who finished in second place, Sanzak in third, and the Polonia's opposition today, Central Park Rangers, who finished in fourth. Polonia actually featured the best defense in the league, only conceding 19 goals in 22 regular season games, so just under one, give or take, goal conceded per game, 0.8, 0.9 if you'd like. Central Park Rangers, on the other hand, are the Flamhaf Cup champions, who actually beat Polonia twice, actually, in the last couple of weeks. The Flamhaf Cup victory was with a scoreline of 3-1 over Polonia, and also the last game of the regular season that was played midweek in Pier 40, in quite difficult actually conditions for both teams, in a bit of a bad light field. They came away with an impressive 5-0 victory over Polonia today. Of course, it's very difficult to play a side that you know very well at this point 3 times in a matter of weeks. Is they're actually their 4th time being matched up. Of course, the first game of the regular season way back then. That's old news now, and of course a lot has changed, a lot has happened since then to arrive at this point, of course, the first day of June here at McCarran Park. So like we said, game 3 in a matter of weeks, 2 sides that know each other very, very well here. Of course, it is a semi-final. The other semi-final in question today will be New York International, who I mentioned finished in second place, hosting Sanzak at 4 p.m. at Roosevelt Island, with the final taking place next week. Of course, 2 sides, like we mentioned, that know each other very, very well. Should be a very interesting matchup here at McCarran Park. Of course, it is a semi-final, if and when. We'll get to that as the due course in this match begins, and we are treated to a great game of football. If it's tied after in 90 minutes, it will go straight to penalty kicks. Of course, a long way to go until then. Of course, now just the referees are preparing their last bits of preparations. Of course, the 2 sides in question, Polonia, will be sporting their red kit, white shorts, white socks, and vice versa. Central Park Rangers too will be sporting their white tops, black shorts, and black socks. Of course, a couple of players that were in question for Polonia had a bit of a injury scare last game. Lou, who is fit enough and luckily didn't cause any trouble in his last outing, where he was collided by goalkeeper Sella, but seems to be fit and able to play today. He's on the roster for Polonia. Actually, both sides bringing a lot of their talent. Of course, it is a semi-final, so you have to bring a deep bench. We'll see what the 2 11s look like, the 2 starting lineups. Of course, Bielin already over by the referees to have the coin toss. Bielin, of course, the captain of his side, the very experienced defender at the back, the mainstay for Polonia. Polonia actually today will bring Dutton Neves in net. Will start Dutton Neves, of course. Last time out at Pier 40, Vasil was deputizing in the Polonia goalpost. Of course, their number 1, Dutton Neves, today ready and will, of course, begin the game for his side. The 2 captains, Ben Kogan and Bielin, exchanging a handshake with the three-man crew. Of course, the referee in the middle actually left a very top game yesterday. American Soccer Club against New Haven United. A very impressive game there in Hofstra University. So just a note on that as well, as the two sides going for some last bits of instruction. And if you'd like a little bit of extra inspiration, really in moments like this, it's understood the importance of the 90 minutes at hand here, with the winner going to the Cosmopolitan First Division playoff final. It's going to be played sometime next week. After, of course, a long, grueling season, these two sides began their quests for the top in, if you'd like, August, where their preparations probably began with some pre-season trainings and whatnot. But the regular season, of course, began in September. We arrived to the first day of June, with it all to play for here at McCarran Park on a nice morning, has to be said, about 60 degrees. Good temperature. First day of June, of course, so at least it's not the scorching hot that we sometimes come accustomed to. There's a bit of a breeze too, so both goalkeepers just have to keep an eye out on that as both sides enter the pitch here with the three-man crew. Just to quickly run by the rosters for both sides. For Polonia, Newton Neves in goal, of course. These aren't the 11s. We'll get to that as the game begins. Chike, Lu, Lenhart, Gloala, Kugler, Saluga, Merchant, Resnick, Pepper, Lorient, Juarez, Bielen, like we mentioned, the captain, Bologna, Madej, Nowojowski, and Goldman. And for Central Park Rangers, two, Sella, Will Knight, Ben Kogan, Anderson, Beer, Anson, Berenger, Chu, Merchant, Olsen, Skimeka, Song, Zink, McDonald, and Servici. As the two sides will probably not swap ends, so it'll be Polonia attacking from left to right in this first half, and vice versa. Central Park Rangers attacking from right to left in this first half here at McCarran Park. Central Park taking a pre-match picture, while Polonia are huddled in with their gaffer in the middle, Corey Smith, just imploring and giving his last bits of information on board for his players to take on before the first whistle of this first semi-final here at McCarran Park. as both sides are ready. And it's going to be Polonia with kickoff. Merchant standing over the ball that is placed in the middle of midfield here. Polonia actually played with a bit of a rotation, understandably so, in their last game, as they were already mathematically crowned champions. They had nothing mathematically to play for in their last regular season game. Merchant from the start today. Kugler, Lorient, Nowajowski, Lu, who is starting off the right-hand side, Saluga off the left, Glowala, Bielin, Resnick and Pepper make up the back four, and of course Dutton, Neves in goal. And we're off underway here at McCarran Park in the first semi-final in the Cosmopolitan First Division. Two sides trying to make it to another game, if you'd like, next week. Clever flick by Lorient. Lu, who's driving on Anderson. Lu to Saluga, who flicks it forward. Pepper was elevated from right full back. Nowajowski was seemingly playing a deep role, a thick challenge, but a clean one at that from Merchant. Merchant on each side, if you'd like. Merchant for Polonia sporting the number 8, and the man who just now hacked the ball clear towards the halfway line towards Song. Merchant for Central Park Rangers at the back, at the left back, I believe, wearing the number 13, Kugler. Saluga had a play for Polonia throw-in. Something was discarded off the outskirts of the pitch there, and Lorient will go over to take the presumably long vertical throw-in. It's flung in vertically towards Kugler, who flicks on. Anderson clears back to Kugler. Lu tries one. Good start for Polonia. Simple but effective from the long throw. Kugler won the first, pinballed around a bit in the top of the box, and it fell to Lu, who tried his left foot. Sang dispossessed. Kogan and Will Knight. Kogan back to his center back, Chu and Anderson, who I believe began the game as a pair at midweek at Pier 40, will begin again. Skimeka got a touch towards Anderson. Merchant flicks it to Barringer. Barringer sprays it neatly to the right hand side. McDonald looks like he's started at the top for Central Park Rangers. Central Park Rangers with a bit of possession now through their center midfielder Will Knight. Tries the line splitting pass towards Barringer, dispossessed by Polonia. Lorient picks up his head and teases one towards Saluga. Saluga, a couple step overs, jinking onto the right foot. Saluga serving, and Anderson clearing away with one touch. Free kick. Anson at right full back for Central Park Rangers today. So Anson, Anderson, Chu and Merchant make up the back four for Central Park Rangers, with Skimeka, the man on the ball here, Ben Kogan and Will Knight operating is, if you'd like, a triplet in the middle of midfield, with Barringer also around maybe a 4-4-2 if you'd like, but we'll see the fluidity of Berenger's movement, who of course had a very impressive game midweek in Pier 40. He's dispossessed by the captain. Bielan to Kugler, who survives a bit of a challenge. Pepper. Back to the fullback in Pepper, furthermore back to the captain Bielan. Bielan lifts his head and lifts it towards Kugler, who's offside. Nick Anderson. Merchant. Wojciechowski, first time. Kugler using the chest to just swivel the ball. Berenger possibly thought that Dutton-Neves was further away out of his line, as we'll just wait for that ball to come off the pitch. And Dutton-Neves will distribute towards Kugler, who flicks neatly towards Saluga. Saluga and Anson. It finds Merchant. Lorient finding a pocket of space, forced backwards by Skimeka. Kugler to the second post. Pepper cushions it below, and Sella collecting it, but also possibly getting some contact on the way down. Lou was in the vicinity, but more importantly, Sella looks to be okay. It's a free kick, of course, so we'll just touch it to his right-sided centre back, Skimeka. Ben Cogan. Song was ahead of him. Anson from right full back, left by Knight to Anderson, first time to Merchant. From left full back, has some space to try to play a teasing ball into the number 3 Will Knight, dispossessed by Resnick, who returns to the middle of the defense, as last time out at Pier 40 began the game at full back. Blair partnered Bielan, as the back four is the usual, if you'd like, composition of, like we mentioned, Glowala, Bielan, Resnick and Pepper. Merchant to take, flings it towards Song. Free kick for Pepper. Resnick will thump it forwards. Merchant, who has a very good leap to him, wins a flick on there. Merchant, I believe, the leading goal scorer for Polonia in their season so far. He's trying to latch onto another one, and Sella was out quickly and distributes it quickly towards Knight. Lorient tries to flick it round the corner to Lou. Cleared and out of play for Central Park Rangers throw-in. Resnick cushions. Lorient just wants to secure the possession. Polonia trying to build something now from the back. Kogan's press. Glowala's first touch a little loose. McDonald intercepts. This needs dealing with. Sela had to make a decision, and in turn was the correct one. Got enough on it to just secure possession now for his side. Little loose back pass, but goalkeeper was alert off his line. Berenger pressing Pepper. Finds Lorient. Line splitting towards Kugler. Merchant gets a little nibble on it. Lou. Kugler. Left to Pepper. Just stumbled a bit, but finds the number 6. Merchant. Double deflection and comfortably in the hands of Sela. So throw, it wasn't the best if you'd like. Lorient. Simply a handball there, but the possession still for Polonia. Glowala, man on was the cry from the bench. And Central Park Rangers can transition now. A bit of a 3-on-3 if McDonald can pick up his head. It elects for Berenger. Cut off. Deflection is a bit awkward. And with 2 attempts, collecting it is Dutton Neves. Ojeski, who's playing a bit of a deeper role today. Lifted towards Kugler. Lou is offside. A quickly risen flag. Has to be said that from the moment that Lou latched onto the ball, the flag was risen. He certainly made no mistake with his finish. But the risen flag will keep this game deadlocked at 0. Certainly a good beginning from both sides. Good intense start. Kogan lifts. Hansen around the corner. Furthermore to Berenger, but Bielin is positioned and stationed in a good position to clear lines. Ball is played to Kogan. Flicked by McDonald. Don't believe that the man who scored the hat-trick for Central Park Rangers last time out, Cherry, is on the roster today. I'm just having a quick glance. I don't believe so. Let's just keep an eye out on that, as he had 3 of the Central Park Rangers' 5 goals last time at Pier 40. But like we mentioned, a bit of a 4-4-2 if you'd like for Central Park Rangers, with Song and McDonald playing split strikers with Berenger in behind. And of course, like we mentioned, Kogan, Knight and Skemeka in the midfield. It's a bit fluid system for Central Park Rangers. Here is Pepper in possession. Does well to retain and assesses some common, finds his center back Resnick. Ojeski dropping between. Lou has to stretch, intercepted, and so Luga hacks, bit of pinball. Bielin will assure the possession to Glowala, who lifts and Chu underneath it. Let's see if Polonia will elect for a long throw-in again. Their last throw-in from an area as such caused trouble in the Central Park Rangers defense. Bielin is making his way up from center back. Lorient will fling in vertically towards Kugler, who controls, swivels, back to Lorient, who lifts towards Merchant, and Sella with a commanding call. That is a route for Polonia, of course. Not the smallest pitch here at McCarran, but also possibly not the biggest. So a long throw-in from a correct angle to the correct location can cause trouble, especially if you have a tall target as Kugler, and as well as Merchant, who can fancy a header, as we've seen time and time again in our streams here at Game and Frame. Ben Kogan lifts towards Berenger. Lorient will leave it to Kugler. Lou first time. Athletically won by Merchant. Knight. Nick Anderson. Knight towards Song, who's again just trying to make some movements into the channel, if you'd like. Here he is using his body well, but his pass is intercepted. Anderson first time. Nowakowski again. Some duels in the air there. The ball will fall back to the fullback. Glowala Saluga retains it. Cushions it with his head. Kugler. Glowala was demanding the service into the channel. Made a good run. Now he has to transition back. Berenger. And Lorient in transition gets an important toe on it. Maybe these moments are the moments of transition, if you'd like, for both sides. If they could find the possession in a neat area to transition swiftly. If someone from the back line, if you'd like, or the center midfielders, if you'd like, were out of position. But so far, so good defensive stability for both sides, as a free kick is given for Central Park Rangers to possibly load it into the area for the taller heads. Anderson is up, Skimeka is up. Kogan making his way into the penalty area as well. Will Knight standing over the dead ball for Central Park Rangers. Berenger just lurking on the top of the box. Served into the second post. The first contact falls to Merchant, it was, who had a pop at goal. A deflection took out the sting of it. And Dutton Neves plunging to his right hand side to collect. Saluga. Berenger drops the shoulder, continuing his maraud forward, teases it with the outside of the foot neatly, but the thumbs up was from Song. Liked the idea, but Neves was out to collect again. Lou, immaculate touch by Lou. Merchant. Because of a free kick. Nothing given by the referee. Anderson. Kogan. Of course, today's Game and Frame broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic. Salt Athletic have made the world's freshest and most advanced cleat bag The case uses antimicrobial technology to block smell, making for odor-free car rides and houses. Salt is offering the Game and Frame community an exclusive discount at 10% if you scan the QR code, as there is going to be a first substitution of the game. Of course, scan the QR code for 10% off. Keep it fresh, as Central Park Rangers will dip into their bench first for some fresh legs. Servisi has entered with the number 19. Floated over the top to Merchant, who's running onto it. Merchant doesn't get a clean contact on it. And under the legs of Lou, who was pressing there on goal line, if you'd like. We're waiting for the ball to resurface. Merchant underneath it. Lorient, first time towards Merchant, coming across his Shu, who has a bit of trouble to locate his fullback. Kugler, back to Lou, who teases it in, but comfortable again for Sella. We remain at 0-0 here at McCarran Park in the first semi-final in the Cosmopolitan First Division playoffs. A couple of half chances, if you'd like, for both sides. Lou had an effort with his left foot after a long throw-in by Lorient, and Central Park Rangers asked the question of Dutton Neebs from a dead ball. A shot coming in from the top of the box, which was deflected comfortably into the arms of the Polonia shot stopper. Both sides began with intensity, or continuing their press in the right moment, if you'd like, with a good low block as well at times, and a lot of transition in moments where they possibly don't have possession. Both sides asking questions of one another. Saluga reverses to Merchant. Merchant on the top of the box, again deflected, and taking out the sting of the right-footed effort by Polonia's leading goal scorer. Kogan, who we saw this last time out, just standing, if you'd like, as a third center back in possession. Standing between, if you'd like, Anderson and Chu, and trying to articulate the possession. Anderson overhits for Merchant. But that was certainly something we saw last time out at the last matchup. Kogan dropping between the center backs to play a line splitting pass with his array of passing abilities, of course. Merchant flicks. McDonald evades. McDonald cuts it back. Glowala got a call from his goalkeeper. It's a bit loose, however. Knight, Lorient assures, and the ball will eventually trickle out. Flicked, Bielen. Wojciechowski. Or Jeski if you'd like. Over. The top it goes to Merchant, who's between Chu and Anderson in that duel. Anson runs out of pitch. Throw in for Polonia. Lorient quickly takes Soluga and Knight. Soluga finds his number 10. Clever touch to evade Song's press. Glowala. Bielen. Kugler turns. Pepper. Not his best. Out of play. Sala will push his team up the pitch and clear his lines towards the halfway line. Lorient wins the first ball. Servici applied a arm. Free kick for Polonia. Servici, who came in off the bench, and the referee just wants a quick word. Nowajeski over the dead ball. That's very central, has to be said. So we'll float it to the right hand side, and Sela commands and collects. Colgan Hansen. Press is almost working out for Polonia there. Central Park get away with the possession, and a long direct ball towards Song was overhit. Bielen. Out of play. McDonald wants the safe option. A 1-2 if you with the fullback. Chu. Berenger. Anderson. Back to the number 10, Berenger. Couple substitutions for Central Park Rangers. Chipping into the bench again. Beer will partner McDonald up top. Song is replaced, and I believe One more substitution. We'll get to that in a second as Polonia trying through Lou, whose first touch is neat. Lou bearing down on goal. Merchant in the right position to cushion it back to his goalkeeper, who clears his lines. Merchant going back for more. Berenger. Anderson. Berenger. Kogan. Nowaczewski. Olsen has also checked in at right full back, so a fresh centre forward and a fresh right full back. Beer and Olsen on, replacing Anson and Song. Over the top. Here are the substitutes trying to combine. Beer floats it to the second post. There was no one in that vicinity. Free kick. Lawala from left full back.
Guys, we're fucking shit. Pick it up. Unbelievable.
Central Park Rangers have, like we mentioned, introduced some substitutions so far. Polonia, not as one substitution. They do have some artillery on the bench. From my glance now, Alex Lenhart, Chique, Juarez, Madej, to name a couple on their bench in case something needs to be tweaked. We remain at 0. Throw in from Olsen. Beelan hacks it forward towards Merchant, who's dueling again with the two center backs. Finds it. The shot comes in. Actually, to correct my previous judgment, Goldman has entered for, I believe, Saluga. So Goldman is on the left wing, replacing Saluga. So indeed, Polonia did make a substitution as well, their first of this semi-final. Goldman at the left wing, Merchant still through the middle, Kugler playing in behind, Lou off the right, and the same per usual in the midfield with Lorient and Nowaczewski. Berenger back to Kogan, who's dropped in. Of course, tune in for more Game in Frame action today at 4 p.m. The other semi-final in this Cosmopolitan First Division, New York International will take on Sanzak at Roosevelt Island. The winner of that will play the winner of this in the grand final next week. Liberia will take on NY Galicia. Let's just see this action first as Glowala picks up his head, tries to find Lou. It's going to be left for Pepper. Pepper will float it low on the top of the box. Lorient will cushion to Kugler. Kugler to Pepper. Floats it in. Athletically up was Kogan to finish off the point. Liberia will take on NY Galicia in the second division promotion final. The winner of that will play their football in this very division next year. And of course, at 6:30 p.m. the APSL semi-final between the Penn Cyprian Freedoms and Manhattan Celtic, a game which will be played at Queens College. Thrown into Lorient. Lou tries his left foot again. Ball played in to Anderson. Exchanges with his center back partner Chu. Kogan. About 10 minutes left in this first half as we just entered in the 35th minute here at McCarran Park. 0-0. Sella with the ball at his feet, stabs it forward. Substitute Goldman will latch onto it. Pepper. Lou. Kind of apology from Lou as the ball evaded his touch. Substitution for Central Park Rangers. Skimeka, I believe, will re-enter. So too Song replacing McDonald. To see if indeed Skimeka did enter. Indeed so, I believe. Trying to find Song. Beelan. Indeed so, yes, Skimeka did re-enter. Thrown in. Knight. Leaves on a bounce. Pepper. Can one of these two sides create a clear-cut chance here in the last 10 minutes of the first half and find the first goal, which is looking like to be a very, very important one, as two sides throwing, if you'd like, jabs at each other in a boxing sense of not really creating anything clear-cut, but a couple of very good half chances. Maybe as just watching Skimeka's positioning, maybe Central Park Rangers actually have gone to a back three. Get to that in a moment, as Skimeka, I believe also Chu has come off, so I take that back. Skimeka will possibly partner Anderson now in the heart of the defense. Here he is, athletically leaps and wins. Cushioned towards Will Knight. Song. Max Song will try and swivel and turn Goldman and Glowala. It does find Knight. Behringer screaming for it on the top of the box. Nowajeski gets a little flick. Lou has to lengthen his stride to retain it in play, but just in essence clears. And back will with back go Central Park Rangers with Anderson. Skimeka as referee's whistle. I believe Polonia are preparing Madej to enter. Let's see this action first. Olsen, Beelan will be yellow carded. And then appetizing position for Central Park Rangers to test Luton Neves on the free kick. Will Knight standing over it. Luton Neves has constructed a three-man wall, a loaded area, everyone back to defend for Polonia. It's one of those that are in between, you can shoot or you can serve. He'll serve it to the second post. Skimeka wins the first ball. Anderson underneath it. A muddle in there. But Pepper will clear lines. Berenger can reload. Beelan clears. Merchant. Beelan. Merchant. Cushions to Goldman. Furthermore, the press is on from Central Park Rangers here. Neat flick to find Goldman. Kugler. Good advantage given by the referee. Around the corner to Merchant. Goldman. To Lou. Beaten to it by Anderson. Nowaczewski. Waiting for the overlap. Actually not waiting for the overlap. Trying to serve something early. And he'll win his side. A corner kick. But first the substitution. 5 minutes left in this first half. 40 minutes gone by. As Lou will be replaced by Madej. Maybe something different on that right hand side. Madej, who has a very good left foot, will station himself in the area first. Lorient to the second post. Nowaczewski was up. Merchant. Lorient reloads low. And Madej almost with his first touch. It's going to be another corner kick. Two hands risen this time from Lorient. Similar delivery. Madej was asking a question. Nowaczewski set up neatly and tried his volley. Last 3 or 4 minutes here in this first half. Berenger. Colgan. Berenger. Mecca picks up his head, tries to find Song. Lowell on the wrong side, but has to go in now to get a block on, and that's exactly what he'll do. Mecca and Anderson, as well as Hogan in the area, forming a little congested area there. Flicked in. Did Newton Neves get a fingertip on it? No is the answer. Goal kick for Polonia. Good service. And the first contact was a Central Park Rangers headbutt just beyond the post of Newton Neves. Beelan. Kogan. Berenger. Tried to find Song. Dispossessed. Pepper. Nowaczewski. Lorient. Merchant. Berenger. Couple step overs coming across his Resnick. if any added time will be added on here, as we're seconds away from the 45. Possibly one last attack in this first half for Central Park Rangers, who have the possession through Anderson. Skimeka. Diagonal service to Barringer. Overhit, but in essence needed to be overhit to force Pepper to cushion it out for a corner kick. Possibly one last delivery from Will Knight, who's going over to take this one from this near hand side. It's going to be taken with a right-footed in whip. Everyone on the second post. It's served in towards that location. Another good service, cleared away, and the halftime whistle here at McCarran Park. Polonia and Central Park Rangers, two tied at 0-0. First half of impetus, of endeavor, of intensity. Both sides huffed and puffed, tried to find the first and very important goal from what it's looking like. A couple of good chances for either end, but so far Neves and Dorsella haven't been beaten in their goals. Of course, stay tuned for the second half in this first semi-final in the Cosmopolitan First Division. Polonia 0, Central Park Rangers 0. Stay tuned.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University, and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards, so I know that they're together, and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer, and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
That's a good bit of footwork there by Spalding. It's gone for a spacious shot! It's magnificent by Spalding!
Welcome back, guys, for the second half here at McCarran Park. First half, scoreless. I believe one substitution for Polonia now that I just had a glance at it. Alex Lenhart will lead the line for Polonia.
Oh, come on, yup.
Replacing Merchant, I believe, yes. So Goldman still on the left-hand side. Lenhart will lead the line. Kugler, Lorient, and Nowajowski, the three in the midfield. Madej, who came in off the bench, replacing Lou, excuse me. Pepper will clear. Alex Lenhart, of course, a different profile of center forward to Merchant, maybe a different look, and cause some trouble also at the same time, just to maybe buy Merchant a quick rest. We'll certainly see the bench used for Polonia in the second half. They do have some artillery on there. Juarez and Chike, who haven't entered yet, as well as Lou, Soluga, Merchant as attacking options for Polonia. Chu. Anson. Back to Anderson. Again with Nick Anderson. Barringer. Kogan. Back to Sella. Towards Chu. Has some space to travel into. Chu picks up his head and tries to find Sang. Cry for Dudniv to come off the line, and he'll collect it. Pepper will clear with the second attempt. Merchant. Madej. Couple of deflections and out of play for a throw-in. Pepper to take. Kugler tries to flick. Madej. Goldman. Around the corner, Lorient. Couple touches. Swivel. Back to Nowajewski. Beelan. Goldman. Beelan towards Lorient. Tried a left-footed cross. Merchant. Back to Sella. Lenhart's press. And decide to throw in good press from the center forward, who has come in off the bench. Goldman finds Lenhart, first time towards Nowajewski. Kugler. Resnick. Cleared out for another throw-in. Kogan. Skim Mecca on the turn, the half turn. Anson to Ben Kogan. Picking up his head, reversing towards Anderson. Again, like we mentioned in the first half, very organized. In a sense, sometimes low block by both sides can transition back and get the numbers behind the ball, and when and if they retain the ball can try to articulate something either with a long direct service or a build out from the back. Have sampled both options, both sides, have tried different approaches, a couple dangerous set pieces, a couple long throw-ins from Lorient in the first half. They certainly have tried different ways to articulate the possession and to build something. Here they build with Madej. Teases it in. Goldman was at the second post and cleared away by McDonald. Lorient over for the delivery of this set piece. Lorient swings it in. Kugler's up, athletically so, and thumps his header in the back of the net. I believe it's Goldman. Goldman it is. An athletic leap, and the connection immaculate for Polonia, who hit the front. Great service indeed from Lorient, and Goldman leapt above everyone and thumped his header into the back of the net. How can Central Park Rangers now riposte to that? From first glance it looked like Kugler who left, but it indeed was Goldman with an exemplary leap and downwards header, beating Sella in the Central Park Rangers net. The answer to our question in the first half was from a set piece. That is how the first goal is scored here today in the first semi-final. Great service from Lorient. Song flicks, free kick. Will Knight standing over it. Goal scorer using his head this time in the defensive end. Leonard has some space to find Lorient, who plays forwards. 3-on-3 opportunity. Leonard is busting a gut to get into the area. It's difficult, probably hits the top of the football goal post if you'd like, and out of play. McDonald. Anson to Sung.
Good. Us. Thank you. Thank you. Take your time, Philip. Yep.
Lowell to take the throw in. Over towards Goldman. Uses his body well, teases it in towards Leonard. Polonia in the lead. The champions of the regular season. Free kick awarded to Song. Polonia, the champions, of course, of the regular season. And Central Park Rangers, who, I remind you, have defeated them twice in the last couple of weeks. First time in the Flam Half Cup, and the moreover second time in Pier 40 in their last regular season game. Polonia, who have to defend the set piece first. Let's get to that point after Merchant's set piece. Hand risen, floated. It's a bit awkward. Knight lashes over. Polonia certainly, who, of course, it's very difficult to play aside 3 times in a matter of weeks. Polonia have come out today with ambition to make it to the final, of course. The champions looking to be as well playoff champions for this Cosmopolitan First Division, as well as Central Park Rangers, who are also trying to make it there to face the winner of the other semi-final, which is going to be played at 4 p.m. later tonight. Beelan has to stretch. Song will go body to body with the captain and win his side a throw-in. Of course, the other semi-final, New York International, who finished in second place, will take on Sanzak at Roosevelt Island at 4 p.m. The winner of this will play the winner of that. Throw-in for Central Park Rangers. Anson, the second post. Wojcicki was up. Kogan beats Leonard to it. Nick Anderson. Barringer clips. Beelan needed to get there, and he did so in the end. Kogan. Will Knight. Wojcicki. Kogan.
Hey, Hazel, mark up 24.
Neves will clear his lines here. Skimek up. And out of play. Quickly taken. Barringer. Thrown in. Barringer to McDonald, who serves. Song was stretching everything he had to possibly get some contact on that well-shaped ball to the second post, but overhit. And Neves will again just bring his boys up the pitch and clear. Flat, but it found Kugler in the end. Madej, Pepper, Alex Lenhart to Lorient, Madej. It's gonna trickle out. Lorient to take. Again, will it be vertical? Indeed so. Towards Kugler, overhit, free kick. Shoot. McDonald. Glowala. Mecca Knight. Lovely feed, but gives the option for Beelan to come away, but his touch just off the toe, trickled out. Mecca evading to Berenger on the half turn. Colgan first time to Merchant from left full back, picks up his head. Mecca underneath it. Glowala has to clear. Half clearance, it falls to McDonald, furthermore back to the right full back. Inverts a bit, dispossessed. Lenhart drops his shoulder, cushions to Nowajewski. Kugler, overhit for the goal scorer. Mecca. McDonald, Glowala going to ground. Good tackle from the fullback, who can venture into an attacking position now as Goldman has stayed back in his left back slot. Glowala advanced, possession on the other side. Mecca with a bit of a juggle. Pepper dancing and awarding his side a free kick, throw-in, excuse me. Lorient. Kugler tried to find Lorient again. Last touch off Central Park Rangers. Merchant. Hacked forwards by Mecca. Out of play. Of course, guys, today's Game in Frame broadcast is sponsored by Salt Athletic. Salt have made the world's freshest, most advanced cleat bag. The air case uses antimicrobial technology to block smell, making for odor-free car rides and houses. Salt is offering the Game in Frame community an exclusive discount. Scan the QR code to get 10% off. Keep it fresh. Olsen has checked in at right back. Goldman, who's thumping header from Lorient's service from the dead ball line was the opening goal. Lorient. Lenhart got a flick on it. Kugler. Bielan. Twice off Olsen. Song. Using his body, maybe slipped at the wrong time. Nowachowski. Possibly yellow. Indeed so. Merchant in the book. Joining Bielan, who is in the book for Polonia as well. So one yellow card each to a center back and now a left full back. Kugler to take the set piece towards Goldman. A couple of clearances. Gemeka, if he can locate Berenger, who had a lot of green grass ahead of him. Knight to Song. See a couple of players limbering up for Polonia. Matej is now in possession. Lorient. Leonhard peeling to the second post. Nowachowski. Kogan will clear towards the halfway line. Glowala underneath it. Pepper. Little toe poke to Lorient. I believe also Juarez is limbering up. Nowachowski will curl. Good idea. Glowala will control. Resnick. Pepper. Kugler. Matej made a clever run, freeing up space for Lorient. Nowachowski. Kugler. Kogan. Olsen. Song. McDonald, intricate. Song left it, but presumably substitutions for Polonia, a triplet. Actually, it's not going to be Juarez just yet. Merchant will re-enter, so to Saluga, so to Lou, replacing Lorient and Nowachowski, I believe. Let's just see the change in the middle of midfield. I believe Goldman will slot in there in the Lorient role. Lovely touch, a flick. Pepper. Lou has gone over to that right hand side, so a couple of fresh legs at either wing. Saluga off the left and Lou off the right. Lenhart will remain at the 9. Goldman, Merchant, who actually he might be playing the deep line role alongside Kugler, with Goldman playing in the number 10.
Wait, do you call it martial arts, right?
Skimeka. Knight. Cleared by Resnick. Out to touch. Barringer. The idea was neat. Goldman. Lenhart. Good center forward play. Here's Saluga, who is fresh. Saluga driving in. Saluga deflected. Didn't really connect with it cleanly, but nonetheless deflected into the arms of Sela, who will bowl it to Skimeka. Song with Beelan. Alex Lenhart tries it. Did Sela get a finger on it? No is the answer, but a wicked attempt from Lenhart. Was moving all over the place. Song beaten to it by Merchant. Glowala wants the first time service towards Lou, who was harassing Merchant. Here is Lou. Lou driving end line. And winning aside a throw in.
Yeah, sounds good. See you soon. Bye.
72nd minute here at McCarran Park. Polonia lead 1-0 to the good through a Goldman header. Kugler. About 20 minutes left in this first semi-final. Kugler. Lou extends, collects, cushions. McDonald's nibble out of play. Glowala. Lou just extended the ball enough for a Central Park defender to hack it out and actually win them a throw-in. Colgan. Substitution for Polonia. Here is Juarez, who is now introduced, replacing Alex Lenhart, who certainly did put a shift in and offered something different in the number 9. Juarez will be asked to play the number 9 now. Skimeka offloads to the left-hand side, intercepted by Pepper. Kugler, first time to Lou. Pepper. Juarez will, with almost a second attempt to control. Olsen. Beelan. Read it, nice. Beelan. Juarez being to it by Skim Mecca. Lou almost latched on. They have to get back in position now. Beelan is out of position. Sliding into the center back is Kugler for the time being. A throw in for Central Park Rangers. Wanna possibly make a substitution as well. Possibly make it after this throw-in. I see Nowajewski ready on the halfway line with a bib in his hand. Will possibly come in to the match now. Nowajewski will replace the goal scorer, Goldman. Nowajewski back in. Will presumably take his similar position to one he began the game at. Long throw in, Kugler's up. Had a little swivel and a spin to clear. Reloaded by Merchant. Olsen is underneath it, wins the first contact. Merchant is up. Juarez clears lines. Polonia just organizing themselves now in a bit of a low block. Chu picks up his head. Nowajewski, Merchant, falls again to the number 10. McDonald. Nick Anderson towards Barringer. Skimeka. Wants some movement. Pops it over towards Song. Olsen was beaten to it in the air. Kugler can transition for Polonia. Has options left and right. Merchant to his left. Furthermore, left to Nowajewski. So Luga. Back it'll go with their captain Beelan. Resnick. Of course, guys, stay tuned for more Game in Frame action at 4 p.m. The next semi-final is Cosmopolitan First Division playoffs. New York International will take on Sanzak at Roosevelt Island. Liberia will take on NY Galicia in the second division playoff promotion game at 6 p.m. as Anderson has to cushion back to Sella. And of course, New York Pan-Siberian Freedoms will take on Manhattan Celtic at 6:30 p.m. in the APSL Metropolitan Conference first semi-final at Queens College. Corner kick for Central Park Rangers. Polonia, I remind you, opened the scoring with a devilishly taken corner kick of their own. Can Central Park Rangers riposte with one of their own? Certainly a lot of height to hit in the loaded, congested area. Will Knight serves. Flung towards the goal. Good contact at the end, but Dutton Neves was comfortable and collects. So Lugo controls. So Lugo trying to bypass Olsen, who stuck to the task. McDonald. Song. Flat and low, cushioned. Anderson, the center back, who found himself in a position and intervention in the end. Anderson, who somehow made his way up from center back, was asked to do the job of the center forward, but for an intervention, as Dutton Neves has remained down. But what a moment there for Central Park Rangers, cushioned neatly towards Nick Anderson. Substitution for Central Park Rangers in the meantime, as Dutton Neves is helped back up to his feet. Beer will re-enter. McDonald off. Certainly with about 10 or so minutes left, Central Park Rangers might have to begin to think to risk it all and play as many offensive players or tweak the system to something more offensive. 10 minutes left in this first semi-final between Polonia and Central Park Rangers. Polonia in the lead through a Goldman header in this second half after a scoreless first. Neves, who's back on his feet, and Song. The 220s in a duel there. Olsen, Juarez, Saluga. Nowajeski and Kugler playing almost side by side, if you'd like, in this moment. Nowajeski just previously shouting some instruction where to close and to make it difficult for Central Park Rangers to play through their lines in especially moments as such, with such importance as this. So Luga beaten to it by Song. Olsen. Song. Reverse to Olsen. Nowajeski. So Luga, Glowala, Nowajeski on the turn. Will return and find Kugler. Pressed by Berenger. Good advantage given by the referee. McDonald goes over Kugler, who will be booked. Quickly taken. No, says the referee. Certainly an appealing position for either the right-footed option in Berenger or the left-footed option in Merchant. Dutton Neves has constructed a four-man wall. Berenger over the wall, but over the target as well. Beelan will take the subsequent goal kick, get some length on it. Kogan just below the halfway line. Bit of head tennis. Juarez trying to win a free kick. Pepper, who's had a very good game at right full back. Lou goes to ground, nicks it towards Nowajeski. Nowajeski dancing, delivering towards Saluga. First touch, curls it, and nestles into this first post, beating Sela. Nowajeski danced and delivered. Saluga's finish, educated at that. Polonia find their second goal and possibly book their ticket to the final. Good work from Nowajeski, coolness, and Saluga connected with his finish. exactly what was needed for Polonia, just to have a bit more comfort here with their second goal, a cushion. Now, Central Park really have to risk everything. I believe Glowala has come off as well for Bologna. Another defensive player with fresh legs to help see out the last minutes of this semi-final. Polonia, the champions of the regular season, are minutes away from booking their place in the playoff final, and will be taking on the winner of New York International and Sanzak later today. If Olsen can latch onto this, indeed so. Olsen will flick Skimeka. Really, one goal now can stand up a grandstand finish. Off the thigh, Merchant forwards to Soluga. Norjeski, just that bit of calm that's absolutely necessary in moments like this. Madej. Norjeski again. Danston delivered a ball at the right time for Soluga's finish. Can Polonia find the third in? Wrap things up. Anderson, who had a very big chance at 1-0. Denied. And minutes later, Nowajeski found Soluga. Here's Juarez on the half turn. Juarez off the post. Soluga lashes in for 3. Off to the final they go. A crisp connection from Soluga. It ricocheted off the post, and Soluga, who rips off his shirt in celebration, with a crisp connection, finding Polonia's third and booking their ticket to the final. 3 goals here in the second half for Polonia, a Soluga brace, but the first one, of course, coming from Goldman. 3-0 to the good for Polonia. Minutes gone here. 2 or so minutes left in the semi-final. Polonia seconds, minutes away from the final. After a great second half performance, remind you, it was 0-0 in the first half. Goldman found the first goal after a beautifully taken set piece by Lorient, and Soluga at the brace. First beating Sela, and the second one after a ricochet off the post, lashing his effort in. Knight. Pepper finds Madej. Kugler. Madej. Juarez. Madej, Soluga, who's on a hat-trick, I remind you. Juarez didn't connect cleanly with that. Sela thumps it forwards. McDonald. Resnick. Nowajeski, who's been pivotal in the middle of midfield, alongside Kugler, and of course Merchant, who played a deeper role in the second half. Here he is in possession, Merchant. No Chesky to stand over this dead ball. Doesn't beat the first man. Referee had a quick glance at the watch. McDonald has some space, a 2v1. Lengthening his stride. McDonald bearing down on goal. Cushions it. Noah Jeski again at the right time, showing his defensive capabilities as well as his offensive prowess that he's shown. Olsen cushions it. Good defending by Olsen. Anderson. Maybe one last chance for Central Park Rangers to get on the board. Away is the cry. Beelin will take his time. Finds Merchant, who finds Madej. At a play for a Polonia throw-in. Alex Lenhart will enter for the last knockings. Polonia in the driver's seat for a place in the final. They can sit back and relax and watch the other semi-final later today here on Game and Frame. New York International will take on Sanzak. But the job is almost complete here at McCarran Park after a 3-goal second half performance from them. Polona to Kugler. Alex Lenhart. Shot crossed in the end. Final whistle here at McCarran Park. After 3 goals in the second half, Polonia booked their ticket into the final. After a scoreless first half, Polonia found the goal through Goldman from a set piece, beautifully taken from Lorient, and the Soluga double to ensure and book their place into next week's final. Final score here at McCarran Park, Polonia 3, Central Park Rangers 0. Stay tuned for it.
My name is Austin Brummett. I'm a men's soccer player at San Diego State University and I play forward. The Salt Air Case helps block odor from my cleats when I'm driving in my car or when I'm keeping my cleats inside my house, so I don't have to worry about it stinking up my room. It helps me keep track of my cleats and my shin guards so I know that they're together and I don't have to worry about tracking them down or losing them or stressing out about where they are. I would definitely rock this, walking to the games, walking around to my trainings. And it's super helpful for travel. When I travel in the airport to go to away games, it's not going to stink up my backpack or stink up the plane where I'm sitting. Magnetic strip on the top is super easy to open to take my cleats out and to put my cleats back in. I think it's an essential part of my outfit for soccer and it helps keep all my stuff organized and stink-free.
That's the good bit forward there by Spalding. It's gone for a spacious shot! It's magnificent by Spalding!
Welcome back, guys. Your regular season champions also just now booked their ticket to the playoff final, Polonia, after a 3-goal second half, defeating Central Park Rangers here at McCarran Park. I'm here joined by Goldman, Dutton, Neves, and Saluga. I'll begin with the shot stopper, the goalkeeper. Very important game today, of course. This is the third time you guys played this opposition in a matter of weeks. Talk to me a little bit about that. Is it difficult playing a team that you know very well and possibly vice versa 3 times in a matter of weeks?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think this time we kind of figured it out, got the better of them, but the last 2 times they got the better of us. And there's some challenges, but you kind of have that familiarity. I kind of know which strikers are looking to do what, and 3 weeks in a row, it's like, I think both teams get to know each other pretty well over that span.
And of course, at 1-0, we'll get to the goal scorers in some second. At 1-0, you had a very important save. The centre back for Central Park Rangers found himself in centre forward position, but you made a great save there to keep the game at 1-0, and then followed by Saluga's brace. But we'll get to that in some seconds. Talk to me a little bit about that. In a moment like that, in a critical moment at 1-0, you make a very important save. What goes through your head in that situation?
Yeah, 1-0. I'm just thinking, I see this guy one-on-one. He's looking free. I just try to make myself as big as possible and close the space. And lucky or unlucky for me, I made the save. Put my body on the line, and just after making the save, it feels great. But in that moment, I just spread, close the space, and hope for the best.
Very well said, and a very important save at that. Now we'll go to the goal scorers. I'll begin with you, Goldman. You began the game off the bench. You entered in the first half. You made a real difference in the first half. And in the second half, you showed, of course, your leaping prowess with a thumping header from a beautifully taken corner kick by Lorient. When Lorient goes to serve the corner kick, I see that you guys are very dangerous off set pieces, long throw-ins, vice versa. What do you look for? Is the hand move? Because sometimes he raises one hand. Is that talked about on the training ground as well? And, of course, your thumping header. Talk to me about that.
We've got a few plays, but honestly, I mean, Antoine takes all our corner kicks. He puts it right into the mixer. You just have to attack it. And it was a perfect ball and came off well. So I'm very, very glad to see it go in.
And it was a crucial goal, of course. The first goal opened the scoring. Then you guys found 2 more goals through. Now we'll introduce Saluga. Talk to me about the first one as well. And the second one, of course, you lashed that in. You really made no mistake with the finish. But at 1-0, of course, like we mentioned, was it to find the second goal to ease the nerves, or to, of course, remain defensively stable, which you guys were? You guys were very organized as well, a lot of communication, and defensively very strong until you found the second and the third goals.
Yeah, I think, as Xander started off in the second half, got us the monkey off the back with that first goal, really lifted our spirits. So, I'm sitting on the bench thinking, like, I'm going to go in and score the second one, finish the game, because 1-0 is not enough. So, I knew I wanted a couple shots on goal in that second half. So, when Conrad came in and dished me to the ball on the far post, I feel like I've kind of made a habit of that, waiting in the back post, being patient. So it came to me. So the first thing I was thinking was, I'm going to shoot the ball. So, it was a bit of a slower shot, but I picked the corner. So I was happy to see it go in.
Yeah, I mean, it's, from my eyes, it seemingly looked like you gave the goalkeeper the eyes. The placement was good. If you'd like a soft and then a very lashing finish for the third one. And of course, what is the feeling like when you score the third goal? I see you ripped off the shirt, celebrated. What's that feeling like to know that you guys booked officially your place in the final next week?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, beating CPR after those 2 crushing losses was the best feeling in the world. So, I think that's what you saw when my shirt came off. That feeling of relief and, excitement about getting to the final. But, I'm proud of our performance. So I think a 3-0 win is a real statement for us. So that's the best feeling.
And Xander, of course, like you mentioned, the final next week. One more final to go in a very impressive season. Of course, you guys are the champions of the regular season. To make it a double, if you'd like, that's on the agenda, right?
100%. I mean, we're very happy about this win. I got to say, these guys frankly kicked our butt the last 2 games, including the cup final, which would have made that a double and this a treble. So we're very happy to get the 3-0 win. And then, International or Sanzak, I guess next week. Don't really care which one, and we're coming for the win, hopefully.
And lastly, you guys played early. You guys could rest, recover, fancy a beer today. That's up to you guys. Are you going to watch the other semifinal just to take some notes? I'm sure you guys know Sanzak and New York International very well. But what do you expect in the final next week?
There's definitely going to be some guys watching the final. I don't know. We'll see, or the other semifinal. And then, yeah, we know both of those teams very well. We've played them both a few times this season. So whoever it is in the final will be ready. And yeah, we're coming to lift another trophy.
Congrats, guys. Very well played. Congratulations on, firstly, the regular season and booking your place to the final next week. Congratulations again. See you guys next week.
Thank you so much. Cheers, guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys, for tuning in. Polonia, your regular season champions, booking their ticket to the final next week after a 3-0 win here at McCarran Park over Central Park Rangers. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure to, of course, tune in to the other semi-final at 4 p.m. at Roosevelt Island between New York International and Sanzak to determine the winner who will play this Polonia side, the champions of the regular season. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm George.